ignoring it. Ain't no stopping, I'm keeping it for it. Man, it can't stop me, I'm going it. Man, it can't stop me, I'm going it. Every time I'm gone, I get another. Tryna leave me alone, another. I'm like, baby, I know I'm wrong, but this just how life goes. And I know these be happy if I let you go. Got me walking on a thin line on my tippy toes. Crazy different city with some different. Here we go. Every time I'm gone, I get another. Tryna leave me alone, another. I'm like, baby, I know I'm wrong, but this just how life goes. And I know these be happy if I let you go. Got me walking on a thin line on my tippy toes. Crazy different city with some different. Here we go. I spent the whole M on some clothes. Got a bonus, I sold out the show. Gonna like a paddle on the stove.
And, Coach, we find ourselves due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New York Giants and the Washington Redskins. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. A first carry for the Clemson man, Wayne Gallman. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now a toss. This is Gallman. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Back to throw. Kennedy. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. On the toss, there goes Gallman. Takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Kennedy. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Off play action. Kennedy. He'll buy some time right. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there that brings up 4th. A 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
Now a play fake here on first down. This one complete to Jordan Reed. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Eli Apple. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
They go play action here on first down. He's got it at the 15. And he's a long ways into Washington territory before hitting the turf. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on first and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. In on the stop, the safety, Troy Apke. Well, they know how to protect the pass, but sometimes cornerbacks, they can also stop the run, can't they?
Is that what we call a complete corner? Yeah, because we're so used to these guys just being defenders in the pass game. How about the guys who can come up and make the tackles? That's what we just saw there for no gain, too.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. From the gun, Kennedy. He gets away from one, and he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Matt Ioannidis in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be fourth down. And the kick by Rosas is good. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
So out now come the Redskins. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
First carry for Darius Geis. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
He'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's fourth.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the third time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Launching one for Henderson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Troy Apke. And he will take it across midfield and down to the 45.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Out to his left. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw. Flushed out right. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
They'll begin with a run by Gallman. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same. But they...
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made there by Zach Brown.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Zach Brown in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. The Giants on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. the play fake. Kennedy rolling to his right. Open man is Henderson. That's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Gallman will run it. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Here's Gallman. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Gun! 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 Gun!
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
They get it to him running left. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. The penalty yards marched off as they'll try again on 2nd and goal.
Over! Detroit! Detroit!
Operating from the gun. Kennedy. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Looking to throw. Kennedy. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
They start on the ground with Geis. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there.
It's caught inside the 25. And all the way down to the 22-yard line.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On 1st down, this is Geis. He's to the 10. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They run it with Pope. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be 2nd and goal.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. Geis alone in the backfield here. 2nd and goal. Now this is Crowder on the end around. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. 116.
They'll set up a throw. Eluding the pressure right. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And nothing but daylight ahead. The 20, 10, 5. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown. Those free safeties, they get to sit back there if they've got good pass rushers like this team does. Read like a book. He read it like a book and took it in for 6.
And if they use their eyes well and their anticipation skills, they can make big plays, just as what we saw. A free safety's dream. Follow the football, go to it, and take it the other way.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And following the pick 6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 35. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in, but when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat.
Eli Apple up from his corner spot to make the play.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity map to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
Airing one. Oh, man, it's caught inside the 10. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball.
And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Now, before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's second and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal. They run with Geis. Call it no gain on the play, so no help there. And now fourth and goal. And now the Giants, they get the officials' attention and take another timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. And Hopkins' kick is good. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And the Giants ready to come out now. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
13 seconds, the time remaining in the half as they come up on first down. Off-play action. Kennedy sliding out of the pocket. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Off the play fake. Kennedy. They'll roll him out right. They'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, sometimes when you try to defend OBJ, you're going to get a PI call.
You might get a PI call at just about any point during his route. And I think a lot of teams have taken the whole philosophy of, hey, just go ahead and do what you have to do and hope eventually they'll quit calling it. But not in this case. They dropped the flag for the pass interference.
The final shot before break. Kennedy. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So we come upon halftime, and we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of...
And got his man complete. A huge play there for Washington. And even 40 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make the play on the football.
Geis receives the pitch. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Looking to throw. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Complete. Richardson has it. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And avoids the contact by sliding. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. 1st down on a pickup of 11.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
Back to throw here. And this is incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And they will cut the lead back down to a touchdown now at 13-6. So another good job defensively, because they've allowed 3 trips into the red zone, but only the 2 field goals.
Yeah, that's the bend but don't break, isn't it? And they really didn't get broken at all, because if you're running off the field having allowed 2 field goals and 3 trips in the red zone, you've actually come out ahead.
Yeah, flip it over to the other side. The offense, they'll hope to cash in for 6 next trip. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter.
Detroit!
The drive begins with a handoff to Gallman. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up, because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw on 2nd down, Kennedy. Over the middle, he finds Henderson, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Now Gallman. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Watch it now, Barney. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On the ground, it's Gallman again. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The Giants on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Back to throw. Kennedy. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Offensively, when you see cover two, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
Pope. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. There to stop him on the defensive side, Lorenzo Carter.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throw left side is complete to Reed. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one goes for 24 yards.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Flushed, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's a right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
He'll drop to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right. And that is incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And this one is incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And Hopkins' kick is good. And that'll bring him back within 4. So it's a 3rd field goal for him now. He's accounted for all 9 points. I look down to the sideline, though. You can just tell they weren't too happy for 3. They wanted 6.
So they have to have 6. Look, he's keeping them afloat, but they really need to do exactly what you talked about. They need to get into the end zone and score some touchdowns. Otherwise, he's going to have to kick a lot more field goals than just the 3 he's already put through the posts.
The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 1st and 10, Kennedy flushed out right. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Giants with the football and also the lead as we get set to start quarter number 4. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. They'll run again here with Gallman. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Gone! Watch it now, Barney!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And now running right through it. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9. And it'll be back to a 3rd and 3. The Giants on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Detroit!
Now they'll run it on the toss. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Looking to throw. Kennedy. He'll find Henderson there. It's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. First down on a pickup of 11. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You stop to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
On 1st down, Kennedy rolling to his right. This will be caught inside the 10. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Odell Beckham, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Rosas now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Oh, able to avoid him. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to fire one deep left side. He's got a man complete. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the...
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Eli Apple.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
They start on the ground with Gallman, and he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back...
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A big play there. 78 yards. And the Giants add on to their lead. PAT up and good by Rosas. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Rosas now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And the interception last time on the opponent's side of the field, certainly not what they wanted.
Put it mildly, that is so frustrating because that signifies there's a drive going on. You're in a good spot, great place to run some of your best offense. Instead, they turn the ball over.
They turned the ball over last time. See if they can avoid doing it here. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And my goodness, another interception. He's picked off at his own 47. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things?
And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Beckham, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Giants use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Rosas good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Rosas now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily to look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. They're going to look to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Pulled in at the 24. 12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. New York set to take the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
Room to run past midfield. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be, but we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
Throw left side, complete to Ingram. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be a second down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Redskins on 3rd down. A pretty anemic, a very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll look to throw here. He's going to let it fly. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Strong safety Landon Collins, the one who got a hand in there, knocked it away.
Try and get it all back with one big shot right there, but even if successful, that doesn't get them all the way back to where they need to be. Can't totally abandon throwing the ball underneath as well.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Eluding the pressure right. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Giants are going to take over in great field position.
No, check.
They go play action here on first down. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down. 2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Detroit! Detroit!
To throw again. Kennedy sliding out of the pocket. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Monte Nicholson picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit. And receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a play fake here on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Money back. Money back. Money back. Make it like a money back. Money back. God, I do the Maybach on Monday for Rocky Friday.